Good morning, everyone. This is Mervyn Henley with THG News today on THG Network. I trust that you had yourselves a good one last night, a good rest. I'm talking about rest. It is Thursday, May 30th, 2024. Of course, we are almost at the end of another month. The news, of course, this morning, sponsored by Carl & Sons on St. Maarten with 2 locations on the island. You can find them on the Ponfill and also in Colbay. And also Thesis on Nevis. You can also check them out today. They're open from, I believe, just after 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah? And get the best in rotis there at Thesis on Nevis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our news. But before we get to our news, remember, please, to subscribe to our network's channel. That's right. Thank you so much for subscribing. In that way, you're kept abreast on what's happening around the Caribbean and in the diaspora. Now, let's begin with news this morning out of St. Maarten. You know, I feel for this guy, MP, Member of Parliament, Kevin Maingrette. I'm actually feeling sorry for him. Kevin Maingrette, yesterday in Parliament, he apologized to the people of St. Maarten for his actions of leaving the coalition government. He's the reason why St. Maarten is in the situation St. Maarten is in today. He and whoever is pulling his strings, causing the government to fall, then joining the opposition, and then a few days later changed his mind with the intention of returning to the government he broke. Right? So the country is in a mess because of, again, this guy. In a statement, MP Maingrette, he admitted for being a rookie in politics, and he will make this right, according to him. And of course, with emotions, and you can tell that he was probably holding back tears. He expressed his deepest apology to his people. Let us look at this snippet. It's just over 2 minutes with MP Maingrette yesterday in Parliament.
Pleasant good morning to everybody, Madam Chair, to you, SG, and to my MP colleagues, and to everybody who's in the Tribune, and to everybody watching via media. Madam Chair, I know the results of my action this past week cannot be undone. I understand what has transpired, and Madam Chair, I would like for everybody in St. Maarten to know that I, Kevin Maingrette, is truly sorry for those actions. I understand, Madam Chair, that right now I have lost the confidence of the people of St. Maarten, and with my family as well, and the coalition. But Madam Chair, I want the people to know I could make this wrong right with my utmost work ethic going forward from now. Madam Chair, I would also like to apologize to my family and friends and all my supporters of what transpired this whole past week. And with that being said, Madam Chair, I have nobody else to blame but myself. I'm a rookie in this game, and I will learn how to not be a rookie and learn from my mistakes and move forward with this. I'm not here to point any fingers. I'm here to own on my mistakes and accountability of my actions. And Madam Chair, I'm a firm believer of God. And one thing I could say, God would put me back stronger in front of those who broke me. Thank you, Madam Chair.
I'm sorry for the dude. I'm sorry for him. Come back, vote. Who's going to vote for him? If MP Maingrette runs and he gets, how much he got the last time? 100 and something? One something? If he gets 25 votes in the upcoming election, then I don't know a thing about politics. Anytime he gets more than 25 votes. And still on St. Maarten, Minister of Justice Lyndon Lewis announced yesterday that an internal investigation was launched at the Point Blanche prison. Listen to this. How 2 unknown assailants managed to enter the prison and assault a prisoner who was in isolation. And I listened to the press conference yesterday that the government of St. Maarten had, the ministers. And in the press conference, Minister Lewis stated that in order to get to isolation, you have to go through 3 doors. 1, 2, 3, right? To get to isolation. And so, how in God's heavens or God's earth that two people from off the streets ended up in a prison to find a prisoner to beat him up? I've never heard such craziness, right? So he said he visited the injured prisoner at the St. Maarten Medical Center when he heard of the incident. He told members of the media yesterday that the prisoner was severely beaten and was badly injured. Minister Lewis said the attack shows that there is a level of corruption at the Point Blanche prison because no one could explain to him how two unknown persons could enter the prison in prison guard uniforms and attack the prisoner who was in isolation. They were in what? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I guess we'll follow that story. It's interesting. Finally, in our news this morning, dancehall entertainer Vybz Kartel and the two of his three co-accused, they will know their fate later today if they'll be released from custody, pending a murder retrial decision in the Court of Appeal. So today, I think they said about 2 o'clock Jamaica time, we will find out if Vybz Kartel will be a free man pending a murder retrial decision on the appeal. Yeah? So that brings us to our news this morning. Tuesday night, the Nevis Reformation Party, they would have held a town hall meeting. It was a very large gathering from the images that I have seen. They spoke about the high cost of living. They spoke about the water rates, the increase at the Alexandra Hospital. They spoke about where is the good governance on Nevis. They touched on the bread and butter issues of Nevis. And they made an announcement yesterday that there will be a protest march taking place on Friday afternoon, beginning at the Premier's headquarters on Nevis, the Premier's ministry there in the Pinnis area on Nevis, and that begins at 3:30 on Friday afternoon. So yes, Nevisians, residents, here is your opportunity. If you are in disgust of what is taking place on the island of Nevis, then you have an opportunity to march. Now, I do understand, and I don't want those of you who are marching, and even those of you who are supporters of the Nevis Reformation Party, people aren't courageous like that. You know, some people, because of victimization is real in your country. Victimization is real anywhere in any small island. And so, yes, you're saying people must take a stand. But when they take a stand and they're out of bread, are you going to take care of them? Right? Yes, there are others out there who are making sacrifices, but everybody can't be you. So you go out and you be the voice. You stand up for people who cannot stand because of whatever the reason may be. But don't think for 1 second that people aren't paying attention to what is happening there on the island of Nevis. Yeah. And so Friday is the march, and we will have coverage of that throughout the afternoon, Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Ladies and gentlemen, again, that's the end of THG News Today. THG Network brought you the kind of compliments of Carl & Sons on St. Maarten and Feezers on Nevis. Let me say this, producer, before I go. I know how some folks are. When I'm done with this news, then I'll be getting messages from, especially out of Nevis, supporters, the few of you who are left supporting the government. You're going to say, oh, why they're marching? And you're going to curse and say, we are promoting march. But I can tell you that when CCM was in opposition, they did a number of marches. They protested because they did not like what was happening on the island of Nevis. They protested morning, noon, and night. You're right? They protested in front of the Premier. That time it was Premier Perry. They protested in front of his office, right by his office window and door. And they got the regional media involved because they said people were hurting. The island is on the wrong path. And they protested. So it's a democratic society and democratic island country of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so they have a right to protest on Friday if they're feeling disgusted, if they're feeling victimized, if they're feeling pain and hurt, if they're feeling like they're just losing all this money and nothing is coming in, if they're feeling that they cannot take the strain, if they're feeling like they cannot support their children, support their family, if they're feeling like they do not have any jobs, they have every right to protest. If they're just fed up of being fed up of the government, they have absolutely every right to protest. And not only protest on Friday, but they'll probably protest at the poll when the early elections are called. That's our news. Thank you again for joining me. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, God's willing, at 6 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time for a similar presentation. I am Mervyn Henley. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everyone. Sons have been serving the people of St. Maarten for over 40 years, and the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Sons for simply the best. There are 2 locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Vybz, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal puri. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Vybz, located at the entrance to the Cotton Ginnery Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.